Okay, so we have started a new year. Happy New Year. Boo, boo, boo. Happy New Year, everyone. The new year has actually started. So welcome to 2024. 2024 is going to be a whole different season. We are in Aries season. It is forward movement. Yes, right now we're in retrograde, but that's for another video. So, my team has me. I am freaked out right now because my team is like, okay, my producers are like, okay, it's time. And I'm like, time for what? I don't want it to be time. They're like, it is time. It is time to come out of hibernation. So I am this is me. Fuck you people. This is me coming out of hibernation. Like kind of like hibernation. It's like I didn't have to really talk to too many people and I didn't have to post videos and I didn't have to record videos. But we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna get through this, and in a year from now, we're gonna be like, oh my god, remember that first video? Anywho, so what they're telling me to talk about this time is getting back into the dating world. Getting back into the dating world, not relationships, but dating, and but it could also be a relationship because the highest form of relationship is friendship. So for me, I have been married. I was married for a very long time. Recently divorced. I got divorced last year. Um, but the marriage was over for a while. It was over for a while. So it was like kind of like we were just roommates. Not even like at one point we didn't even stay in the same room because we have a house. Well, I have a house. So I allowed them to stay in one room and I went down to another room. So we were legally separated for like the majority of the pandemic. I do believe that the pandemic brought to light everything that was really going on for me. I guarantee you, they have their own story and they are entitled to their story. Their story is their story, my story is my story. So, and it is what it is. But my thing is it's like you didn't realize who you were. You knew you had an idea, but then you didn't really until you saw that person every day in, day out. You didn't leave the house, you couldn't leave the house. It was like it was a pressure cooker. And I'm pretty sure the relationships that were healthy going in, they got shook a little bit, but for the most part, they persevered through. But the relationships that were supposed to end, they ended because it's like you can't be with someone every single day and not expect them to be like, okay, yeah, this is not going to work. So that's what happened. But anyway, so that he had left my house in May of last year. So it's coming up on one full year of actual like being without that energy in my space, and I feel that me and my kids are doing fantastic. You know, we have our ups and downs. We're at the tail end, if not the end of the healing process, because we understand stuff. Now we're feeling our feelings, we're releasing our emotions, we're clearing the negative energy, we're clearing curses, we're doing everything that needs to be done so that when I step into, I can speak for myself, I shouldn't speak for my kids, but when I step into a new relationship, I'm stepping into the relationship for the most part healed of that bullshit, healed of the I'm not bringing anything in the relationship except experience, understanding, and the skill of communication. Because one thing being married to that person made me do is learn how to communicate, because they kept saying I was communicating wrong. So I was just like, okay, maybe I'm saying this wrong. So I kept learning and learning and learning different techniques on how to do it. Now I'm freaking pro. I be teaching other people how to do it. So I say all that to say, and they're like, I see my producers going, you're rambling, you're rambling. This is hard for me. I don't, I'm not a big, I'm not a big in your face type of person, especially to people I don't see. I'm not a big in your face type of person. I am the type of person that is secretive. I'm a Scorpio, Aries rising. You know, I'm kind of, I don't tell people how I'm doing or what I'm feeling and all this other stuff is very difficult for me. So if you see me rambling, that's exactly what it is. So, and I know there's a couple of other of you that are like me, that it's just like, I need to put myself out there. And then what I've learned being divorced at this age and at this time in my life, I realized that the dating game has changed. And the dating game was hard when I was dating. You know, I never really dated. I just kind of went from boyfriend to boyfriend to boyfriend. I was always with a boyfriend. This was the first time in a very, very long time that I've been by myself. And I'm going to make videos about it, but it was one of the craziest roller coaster ride ever in life. It was like, there were times that I was just like, I don't think I'm going to make it. You know what I'm saying? I was going through relationship withdrawal. I was going through other withdrawals too, you know, and it was just like, because I've been celibate. And it's just like, while I was with the person, I was celibate on purpose. I didn't feel comfortable giving myself to someone I didn't trust. You understand? Because I am the most precious thing I own, you know, so why would I give myself to someone I didn't trust? So I've been celibate for a really long time. So it's kind of like this whole, it's a whole new world. It's like a whole new world for me. And it's like going from the 90s and stepping into 2024, you're looking around like, what happened to dating? You know, like, I didn't realize that people don't approach, and this is something I learned during my healing process. I didn't realize that people didn't approach other people on the street. Because I was just like, nobody talks to me. And a friend of mine was like, yeah, they don't do that anymore. I said, what do you mean they don't do that anymore? She was like, no one is going to come up to you in the middle of the street and say hi. And I was just like, really? They're like, yeah, because I remember when I was younger, granted it was a long time ago, I was younger, they would be like, they would tell you good morning. They would say, oh, you look pretty, or I like your dress. You know, they would tell you that they think you're pretty. None of that happened. And I was just like, because I thought once I got that divorce, and once the divorce was final and everything was I thought that was the end of my healing process. I was like, yeah, the documents are signed. I'm done. Fuck that dude. You know, shackles off my feet so I can dance. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I thought. The universe had other plans. They had the universe. And my oversoul had other plans. They were like, no, bitch, you're going to heal. You're going to heal. You're going to unpack and unclench and unbind all this shit that you have on you from your childhood, from past relationships, from this relationship, from past friendships, from shit that happened to you when you were a kid, all this other stuff. And it was just like the tearing down of walls, and it's like I feel better. I feel stronger. I have had a couple of guys that I've spoken to, like, because I found out the only way you can really talk to guys is online. So it's like the two guys that because I was on a dating app way before, like probably about 2-3 years ago. What is it, 2004? Probably like 2002? About 2002, 2001, 2002. I was on a dating app. I didn't like it. I was on Meet Me. I didn't like it because I'm like, how do I say this nicely? People don't know how to write. It's like, people don't know how to engage you in conversation without it being sexual. And it's just like, dude, or girl, because it was a girl too. I wasn't just a guy. And I was just like, yo, I'm trying to be friends and get to know you, and everything out your mouth is sexual. And I'm just like, yo, what is wrong with you? I was like, you gotta chill. Just like, take it slow. I look young, but I'm not like, I like that 90s, not even the 90s, because the 90s was a nice time for love, because a lot of that music was ridiculous. I wanted the kind of love I heard from my parents' records. sexual healing and all that stuff. It's subliminal. It's not just like, yeah, this in your face. It was too much. And I was like, oh, you understand? I did get one pic, and I was just like, oh, that's, you just sending that to people? Like, what the hell? So I backed off of that because I wasn't ready. I was not ready for that. So then I realized that one guy I was talking to when I was on the Meet Me app, and we hit it off. We hit it off really well. But then I started, it's like once, like a week or two, we were talking and stuff like that. Then I gave him my actual number, and we were actually video chatting. Nice guy, really nice guy. And then it started to go like this, and it started to be like I was his mom. Like, did you eat? He would be like, oh, I don't feel well. And I was like, okay, you need to take time, because he was a workaholic. He would work 7 days a week. He worked in a hospital. He works like 7 days a week. And I was just like, yeah, you should cut back on that a little bit. You should try to, and then he was like, no, it's fine. And then I found myself back in that situation where I have to tell a grown man, you need to chill out before you get sick. And then guess what happened? He got sick. And I was just like, ain't no way in hell. It is no way in hell. Because I was just like, I'm not going to date another sick person. You understand? I married 2 sick men. I'm not doing that again. So I freaked out. And I'm a Scorpio, so we just disappeared. You understand? So I just disappeared. And I had to build myself back up from that, because I was wounded already. And then doing that, and I didn't listen to my team, because my team was like, you're not ready. Don't do it. You got a lot of healing to do. And I thought when they said a lot of healing, I'm like, yeah. Just, talk bad about my ex and cry a little bit and I'll be fine. Yeah, that's not what happened. That is not what happened. I'm going to be telling stories about what happened during that process. That's not what happened. This wasn't an easy process. So for me, it's like to get to this place where I'm like, I think I'll try again. I would like to, if not find someone to be a companion with, or to take me out to dinner and stuff, because I've never had that. I've never really, I'll be as honest as possible. I have never had someone treat me as good as I treat me. Yes, I haven't found that person. I don't know if that person exists, but I do know they have to come close, if not better than I treat me. Because it's like, if I treat me better than you treat me, why am I with you again? So my producers wanted me to get on here and talk about this, because they wanted me to ask you guys, what dating apps do you use? How do you get to know people? How do you see what's out there, if you're single? And then the thing is I'm hearing horror stories from other people who are like, yeah, it's shit out there. And I'm just like, well, damn, that's not a good, but at the same time, you get what you put in. Because the people that were telling me this, I was watching them and I'm just like, you're not a happy person. So you're going to attract who you are. You're not going to attract what you want. That's why they wanted me to heal. That's exactly why they wanted me to heal. Because you're not going to attract who you want. You're going to attract who you're the vibrational equivalent of. You understand? So back then, I was broken. I was hurt. I was sick. I wasn't taking care of myself. I was taking care of myself, but I really wasn't taking care of myself. I was fucking stressed out. I was stressed out about shit. I was carrying emotion. I was doing all this other, I had all this other shit. Guess who I was attracting? I was attracting sick people. There's no other way but to attract sick people and people who are needy, who need someone to validate them. I don't need anyone to validate me anymore, because I'm my best cheerleader. You understand? And it's just like, if you do it, it's gravy. You understand? Because I don't need that anymore. So now when I step out, it's not going to be coming from a needy standpoint. Now, if I step out and I see that this is not working, I'd be like, yo, let's just hang out. You know, I tell people all the time, yo, I'm mad chill. You understand? I'm from New York. I'm mad chill. Like we could just chill. We don't gotta be boyfriend or girlfriend. We don't gotta do this route. It's like I'm also looking for friends. You understand? I think having friends is somewhat more important than having freaking relationships because that ship is a lot of work. That ship is a lot more work than having friends. But granted, when I'm your friend, it's very different. That's why I don't have a lot of friends because I care about you. I care about what's going on with you. I care about what's going on with your life. So they're like, that's not what we're talking about. I know, that's not what we're talking about. But anyway, so what do you guys do? You know, this is hard for me. So you knew what you got when you tuned in. You know what I said? So what dating apps do you guys use? What dating apps do you? What do you look for in the app that you use, or what do you look for when you swipe left when you swipe left or right, or which I don't even know which one. I'm trying to figure out what date because I was on Meet Me and I really didn't like it. I felt like the people on the app were, how can I say this nicely? I'm at a certain level in my life, both physically, financially, um, business wise. I have businesses that I'm running. I have, clients that I serve. I have a high profile job. I need someone who's going to match me. And I don't know. And it's like part of me is like, fuck it. I don't care if they think that's wrong. But the other part is me like, I don't want to hurt people's feelings. Like I don't if this is not for like a man versus woman debate, because I think that's another problem with why dating is so hard. I was watching y'all on TikTok. Jesus Christ. Someone needs to come in and be the mediator between the two of you. Because men and women, I don't know what's going on with y'all, but y'all are not cooperating and communicating. You're not communicating, you're not compromising, you're not doing any of that stuff. So I need to come in and throw my hat in the arena and see what's going on. Because I would like to have someone. I would cuz I'm a lot of fun, I'm a lot of fun. I'm sweet. I'm dangerous, but at the same time I feel like I am an asset to anyone who has me, whether you have me as a friend, whether you have me as a girlfriend. I come with a lot and I demand a lot. So I need someone who can handle that. I need someone who's up to par. I need someone who will take me out to dinner and open the door or go through the door first and then let me walk through like I'm the queen, because I am a queen, and it's, I don't know where to find them. And I don't know if they are supposed to find me, because it's like I am old school. I do believe that I would like to be courted. I would like the person to like show that they care and buy me things and take me places, and it would be nice. It would be very nice. I am that old school person. I'm not very much a new age person who's like, don't hold my door. And it was funny because my sons had told me that, and I was just like, I'm telling you, these people who are telling me about dating has shell shocked me, because they were like, yeah, you can't hold doors for girls anymore. I said, what do you mean you can't hold doors for girls? We fought for that, and they were like, yeah, the girls don't like that. And I was like, I do. But granted, I'm Gen X. I'm from a completely different era. I'm from the era of 16 candles. The real 16 candles. I don't even know if they've because they keep remaking all our stuff. Stop remaking all our stuff and come up with your own shit. Okay, my producer's like, stay on topic. So it's like, for me, I need help. 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 This is me asking for help, raising my hand and asking for help. I don't know how to do this. I would like advice on what I should do. I've never really been the date, like I said, I've never been the dating type of person. Um, like like I wasn't really good with the dating apps because they would be like, "Oh, I want to see you. What do you want to see me for?" I don't want you to like roll up at my house and just like because you won't survive. So it's kind of like it's for us. For me, I'm kind of like I want to do it, but the other part of me is like, I don't know, son. I don't know if we want to do this. So, my question to you is help me understand dating because I don't understand it. I don't understand dating in 2024. I barely understood dating in 1990, in 1996. I barely understood dating in 1999. So, I really don't understand dating now. So, are you going to leave me hanging by myself and I got to do this by myself, or are you going to help me? What's your experience? And please, let's try to be positive about this stuff and don't be like, yeah, I'm positive as shit. No, let's try to be positive about it and let's try to understand. So, that's my time. Thank you for watching. I hope to hear from you guys soon. If you think I'm pretty, let me know. Talk to you guys later. If you don't think I'm pretty, that's your business, and that's not nice because everybody's pretty in some type of way. Talk to you later. Stay up, stay blessed. Deuces. And we